participants are requested to put their attendance in the chat box. सभी लोगों से निवेदन है कि वो अपने अटेंडेंस प्रेजेंटली चैट बॉक्स में अपने रोल नंबर्स डालें प्लीज. Amol, you can just copy the roll numbers, those who are present, and put the absentee to the remaining participants. Put them an email, and if they are found regularly absent, kindly remove them from the course.
Yeah, I will do, sir.
I think that around 50 participants are absent. 50 लोग absent है कोर्स में.
Yes, sir.
तो आप देखिए कि जो लोग एब्सेंट है उनका एब्सेंटी मार्क करिए और उन्हें कोर्स से रिमूव कर दीजिए आप, कल अगर कल भी एब्सेंट रहते हैं.
इतिहासाचे जनमनाचे गीत आमुचे जागराचे गीत आमुचे आकाशाचे गीत आमुचे सागराचे इतिहासाचे जनमनाचे गीत आमुचे जागराचे
अभंगाचे ओवीचेही माया बोलीचे माहेर
वाऱ्यातही मराठीचे दिवे लख घरोघर संत महंतांचे विरागी गीत आमुचे कागडाचे इतिहासाचे जनमनाचे गीत आमुचे जागराचे तंतु तंतु संघर्षाचा पैठणीत भिनलेला
नक्षीतच पक्षी पक्षी विजयाचा मिळलेला
सोन पहाट उदयाचे गीत आमुचे उजेडाचे इतिहासाचे जनमनाचे गीत आमुचे जागराचे
बोलणार का मी कोरीच्या मागला
प्रज्ञेचा सूर्य नवा शब्द शब्द उजळून गेला समतेचा संदेशाचा अर्थ ढाळून गेला विराट विशाल संस्कृतीचे गीत आमुचे जीवनाचे इतिहासाचे जनमनाचे गीत आमुचे जागराचे गीत आमुचे आकाशाचे गीत आमुचे सागराचे इतिहासाचे जनमनाचे गीत आमुचे जागराचे
Thank you, Amul. You can stop the university song. So, on behalf of UGC Malviya Mission Teachers Training Center, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Marathwada University, Chhatrapati Sambhaji Nagar, I welcome today's resource person, chief guest of this function, Professor Dr. Syed Azharuddin sir, to this first day of 37th NEP orientation and sensitization course being organized by this Malviya Mission Teachers Training Center. Professor Dr. Syed Azharuddin sir is the Dean Faculty of Commerce and Management and is also a Professor Department of Commerce of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Marathwada University, Chhatrapati Sambhaji Nagar. He did his MCom, MPhil, PhD and Bachelor in Journalism from Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Marathwada University. He completed PGDBM from Willinkal, Mumbai. Also, he has done a PG HRD from Iswalam, Chennai, and also business management skills from Oxford University, London, UK. He did course in entrepreneurship and leadership from European School of Economics, London, UK. He has a vast teaching experience of 34 years. He has written 6 books with latest on financial management in 2003 and international trade in the same year, that is 2003. He is an editor of one journal and board member of 3 research journals. He has an administrative experience of 1 year as a principal and 2.5 years as a vice principal. He is also currently a management council member and also passed he was the management council member, finance account officer of our university for 2 years, and also has a distinction of holding post of registrar of the university during the course of his tenure. In his guidance, 28 students were awarded PhD and 31 students were awarded MPhil degree. He has attended 87 seminar and conferences. He has published 81 research papers in national and international journals, including Scopus, MDPI, and Emerald around the world. He has delivered in an all 341 lectures as a resource person at different seminars, conference, workshop, orientation, and refresher course. He has also published 6 articles in newspaper. He has completed 2 international projects, one on tourism in collaboration with Indo-Italian Chamber of Commerce and MCD Government of Maharashtra. Also an international project with Srina Thairanivot University, Bangkok, Thailand. He is a paper setter and examiner for Public Service Commission of 4 states in India. He is and was a member of academic bodies such as member of Academic Council, member of RRC of 5 universities in India, a member of Academic Audit Committee of 3 universities in India. He is a life member of different associations such as Aurangabad Management Association, Aurangabad District Football Association, and others. He has a mass media experience, worked as a transmission executive in All India Radio for 11 years. He was awarded with the Best Feature Production Award at Akashvani Annual Award in the year 1998. He has also approved commentator of hockey, football, and cricket. In sport, he has represented university football team 5 times and hockey team once. He has visited several countries in connection with the conference and project such as US, European, Asian, and African countries. In all, he has visited 43 countries throughout the world today. So indeed, it is really a pleasure and honor for all of us to have Professor Dr. Syed Azharuddin sir here in today's session. So again, I welcome him on behalf of this entire group, and now I would hand over the session to him. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much. I just need one reply. Am I audible clearly?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Secondly, I would like to inform my companion friends who will be witnessing my knowledge sharing session. It's not a lecture, it's a knowledge sharing session. And I would like to inform you that if there is any electricity or the problem with the internet, immediately within a minute, I will be joining from my mobile phone. So don't go, be connected with it. Okay. Thank you very much. At the outset, I thank UGC Malviya Mission Teacher Training Center, Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar Marathwada University, Chhatrapati Sambhaji Nagar, Aurangabad. And I welcome you all to the 37th NEP Orientation and Sensitization course. After a long time, I have been associated with this. After a long time, I'll be deliberating on the NEP sensitizing or NEP sensitization course, which is the 37th NEP sensitization and orientation course. Friends, if you look at the policy document and if you look at the way forward, you will find that this policy is proposed keeping in line the long-term vision, and there is a reason for that, for which I will come back after a few minutes. But I would first like you to take a little bit back and then come forward so that you understand the background, the things which we have been following, and today how we are in this era. So that will be clear your doubts and many of the things which are time and again said Indian knowledge system and other information which is historical and which should be instituted, included, imbibed in our curriculum. That will also be clear when I speak to you on this topic. Friends, looking at the Vedic period of education, we will divide 2 minutes. I will speak only on these 4 periods: Vedic period, Buddhist period, Muslim period, and British education system. Only 2 minutes, so that we are in the loop of the new education policy and how the post-independent scenario has generated the thinkers of our you can say education hierarchy in India. They have enumerated a very good new education policy of 2020. But if it is understood in the right spirit and perspective, then I think it will be easy for us to adopt it and implement it. So when I talk about the Vedic period of education, one more thing I would like to tell you: scholars have divided the study into 4 periods, that is Vedic period, Buddhist period, Muslim period, and British education system. And if you look at the Vedic period, you will find that Rig Veda period, Brahmin period, Upanishada period, and Sutra period. These are the 4 basic divisions which the historians and scholars have done for understanding the Vedic period of education. And if you look at all the 4 periods, you will find that in these periods there was predominance of Vedas, and you will also find the most important aspect, main focus of education was practical knowledge, vocation, and feeling of suitability of the career and occupation. This was the mainstay of Vedic period of education, which was chronologically divided by the scholars as the Rig Veda period, Brahmin period, Upanishada period, and Sutra period. Coming to the second one, that is the Buddhist period, you will find that the education was imparted through monasteries and viharas. And the teachers and students, they live together. Now, this is something which is very exceptional when we talk about that the students and the teachers, they live together. The physical, social, cultural knowledge development was the mainstay of this Buddhist period education. And in this also, you will find that education was mainly focused on vocational development and was also a part of the larger system of Buddhist period, where education was imparted through monasteries and viharas. Then coming to the Muslim period, you will find that education during Muslim period in India was through maktabs and masjids. And these were the primary center for educations. Madrasas were imparting higher education. And also the places of stay like khankhas and religious places like dargahs, they were also the part of centers where the education was imparted. Now, My dear friends, for your information, education in this period was liberalized. Why I say this? Because even Hindus and other caste people were admitted to maktabs. And the maktabs introduced two types of education. One is the traditional Islamic education and half modern education. And teacher pupil relationship was also there. You will find the discipline and punishment system was introduced, examination was there, and the degrees were awarded. And the very hallmark of this period was religious education and modern education. They were being imparted at the different centers. Then comes the British education system. A lot has been said about the British education system. But if you want to sense that the British, they studied and they sensed that Vedic education, Buddhist education, Pathshalas, Chaupals, Gurukuls, Maktabs, Madrasas, these were the systems which were existing. And when the Britishers, they found that in this education system, they termed it as religious education. And then they established the English medium schools. One thing which our participants should keep in mind, that this English medium schools which were started, they were undertaken by the government through the government activities and also through missionaries, which taught colonial education for preparing the staff of the government who were to work with the Britishers in administering India. And this British system of education was to fill the gap in education and communication which exist due to traditional education and religious educations. And that you can say that they wanted to produce in the larger canvas, if you see, they wanted to produce the what you call clerks to work with them or to work for them. That is the Britishers' intention of undertaking that. Friends, coming to the post-independence education system, the first education minister, Maulana Abul Kalam Azad, he gave a very new direction to the education system in India. And if you look at the post-education system, you will find that prestigious Indian Institute of Technology, IIT, Indian Institute of Science, IISc, and UGC. Also conceptualizing the IIM was done, and it was established in 1961 under the second selected government. As far as the way forward after post-independence is concerned, you will find that the first education policy came in 1968. And at the time of the then Prime Minister Indira Gandhi, the emphasis was, the formulation of the policy was compulsory education for all, for the masses. It was not a type of education which was very much, you can say, focused on science, humanities, and other things. But then the aim was to make the people educated, educating the masses. This was the aim of the first education policy which came in 1968. Coming to the second education policy in 1986, during the tenure of the then Prime Minister, Mr. Rajiv Gandhi. And if you look at the crux of that education policy, you will find to remove the disparities between diverse social groups. This was the aim to bring a new education policy in 1986, where the gaps in imparting education was kept in mind, and this gaps, how it can be filled in an effective manner, was emphasized upon, so that the more specialized education can also be given to the people who are already taking a good type of education. So keeping both the things in mind, that was instituted. Now, when education is compulsory for all, with IITs, IIMs, Indian Institute of Science and others, very few specialists were found to be produced by this system. What I say, very few specialists were found to be from this system. When IITs, IIMs and Institute of Science exist, and this system did not produce the type of specialist which was expected. And that is why, if you look at the present initiative which has been undertaken by the government, only one reference I will give you, although there are so many reasons for undertaking this new education policy. You will find that in this education policy, before this education policy, when in 2017, 2018, as well as 2019, chronologically, these 3 years report of NASSCOM, this was a very startling, what you call revelation, or the data which has come. And that data put a big question mark on the way forward, how the education system was working and what output we were getting in these what you call reports. It was evident. Not only this, you will find that more than 50% of the fresh engineers, they are getting jobs, and the other half they did not get. And you will find that the information which came to light was the graduates were not skilled, so that they can be absorbed in the market according to the knowledge which they have. And that is why this brought a big question mark, like if the imparting of the knowledge in the education system, specialized education system, right from the engineering colleges and the other institutions which are there, when they are not producing the graduates which are termed as skilled graduates, then what should be done? What reforms can be brought? What aspects can be included so that the employability and research can be carried forward? These are the two things which was primarily the aim of the government, to find out the reason where we can bring in or fill the gaps which are already there, due to, despite of the presence of IITs, IIMs, Indian Institute of Science, despite of their presence, there is still a gap. So in 2023, if you see the report of NASSCOM, employability gap in graduates, that is 57% of the engineers were only employed. A marginal increase was there when the new policy document of 2020 was brought forward. And immediately you can see that there is a transformation which has taken place. And transformation is not very easy. It takes a time. It needs to be, there need to be a cognitive development of both the students and the teachers. जब mindset बनेगा, then only you will be able to do that. And the preparing of the mindset is important. And that is why I always say cognitive development of the teachers and cognitive development of the students. Teachers, what to teach, in what way to teach, and how the stakeholder will get the maximum. If this is known to the teacher will take the students to that level, will always carry them and give them education what they want. Secondly, you will find that not only teachers, the stakeholders, what do they study? See, if I have visited several countries in the world, I was in London just a few months back. For 3.5 months, I was in central London, and I did a research on that, the methodologies of different universities, different specialized institutions. I have also been to Oxford University for a course last year. So I have also witnessed their methodology for undergraduates and postgraduates, and how the research is initiated and carried through. I have witnessed that. So on the basis of that, very unique thing which I have witnessed is the methodology which was there prior to new education policy of 2020. The prior education was very much different, and when the new policy document of 2020 came, after going through the nuances of those what you call new education policy document, how it will carry the students right in from the school to the junior college and in the undergraduate and postgraduate mode, how they will move, in what way they will be able to take up the education, and they will be able to bring out the graduates, bring out the school pass out students who will be very much of inquisitive nature, and their mindset will be totally different from what we have seen in the pre 2021 documents. Friends, when I quote the 2017, 18 and 19 report of NASSCOM, and also the marginal increase in the employability of the graduating engineers from and not only this traditional one, also like BCom, BSc and BA, you find a marginal increase in that post 2020 document. But then lot of homework needs to be done, and that is why from time to time sensitization of new education policy of 2020 is being done, so that the students and pedagogy, they understand how to carry the things forward. This situation incited the present government, and under the leadership of the Prime Minister, Mr. Modi, the think tank of India, they took a bold step in bringing the new education policy document of 2020. Now, it was not easy, especially in the backdrop of the education system which was prevailing. And that is why you will find that in the document, you will find the status is mentioned, the need is mentioned, and how the things should move, that is mentioned. And that is why, what is the background of this new education policy, right from the ancient or the periods, we have already seen that for 2 minutes. But then now I'll come to the real crux of that particular new education policy. The first thing which they brought is to recognize, identify, foster the unique capabilities of the students which are present in them. Because unless you recognize them, you don't know what type of thinking, what type of nature the students have. And if you are able to recognize or you are able to identify, then you can mold that student in that way, in that particular way. And what is already envisioned is that every student has a unique capability, unique capacity present in them. Everyone. How they have the unique capacity, unique capability in them. It can be evident from this fact that the students, when you inquire about their love for a particular subject, then you will understand that what are the likes and dislikes, what are the strengths and just interest and disinterest in the students. So actually, the implementation which has now started from the school, earlier it was stressed that let us start from the higher education institutions and then we'll go for the school education revamping, so that the aims and objectives of the new education policy can be instituted and constituted, imbibed, and they, when the students are molded in that way, they will be able to give the output also for which the think tank of new education policy has done. Now, if you look at the school education, you will find that when you recognize, identify, foster, and then you understand that every student is having a unique capability and capacity. Friends, in schools, you will find that at the lower level classes, when the students will be in contact with the counselors, those counselors will keep track of the students, how their preferences are changing. A student from 1 to 5th class may not be able to respond in a very good manner, but then when the student comes in 3rd, 4th and 5th class, at least he can express his liking for the subject, express his preferences, what he likes, what he dislikes. And in that, it is easy to understand what type of capability that student is having. So the things will start from 4th, 5th and 6th. And this will be carried forward in the middle school, that is 5th, 6th and 7th. In this middle school, the student will reveal the real preference to the counselor when the counselor does the mapping to the students, of the students. And that mapping will reveal that this student is having a special interest in geography, special interest in historical perspectives. This particular student is having an inclination towards calculations, mathematics. He likes, he is very comfortable in that. And he also likes to read the literature, that is the English literature, a deadly combination, which the new education policy advocates, that if a students who like mathematics may also like English, so he will go together with English and mathematics. One student may like science, and particularly he is very fond of chemicals. Some student may be fond of study of animal. Some students may find it comfortable to study the flora which is present around us. And some people may be interested in human studies. So they may go for economics, they may go for psychology. So like this, the preferences will be different and those will be adopted, and those students will be under the watchful eye of the counselor. And in that mapping, the counselor will be able to put forward the results of the lower classes, the middle school, and the subject of liking in the high school, so that if the student continues with that subjects, those subjects which he like from his childhood in the middle school and high school, he can carry it forward and become, and also get the higher education, undergraduate education, higher education in that particular area, that particular domain the person the student may become a specialist. And this is where is the emphasis of the present NEP 2020 curriculum and NEP 2020 policy, through which the curriculum will be taught in that particular manner. And it is not different from that. I told you about several universities and institutes I have visited in London, but here I would like to give you one example of my colleague professor and myself. We visited one professor in the Singapore Business School, which is in the top 100 in the world. And in that institute, I read a book about marketing from one of the professors, and we were very eager to meet him, but we did not took the prior permission. But anyhow, without any appointment, I went. My colleague and we went to him, and luckily we found him. But then he did not have much time. But he said, I can give you 5-7 minutes or 10 minutes before I have to go for some other work. So we did not waste time in introducing ourselves. We just gave the visiting card. And the first question we asked was, what is your teaching methodology? And when I asked this question to Mr. Lee, he said, see, at the start of the semester, I call the students together. I introduce them the subjects. I introduce them the curriculum. And a very important thing I do is, where the curriculum you will find of this particular program, subjects which I teach, I give them the detail about it. And accordingly, the students, they start studying. And as they study, they find it difficult in several aspects of that particular curriculum in the program. So when they come up with difficulties, they email me, and I call the whole class that some of the students have mailed me. They have a problem with this concept, and we will be meeting on Wednesday from 1 to 2 p.m. in hall number so and so. So he will try to clear all the doubts, and he will also emphasize on its application, so that the students can understand in the same sense which a professor and that book is asking them to understand. This is what is one of the methodology which I have found while going through the teaching methodology. Friend, looking at the trend and the policy document of NEP 2020, you will find that when the student, it is said that they have the unique capabilities in this, what is stressed is the foundational literacy. The foundation should be strong. And when we talk about foundational literacy, then it is related to numeracy, it is related to flexibility, it is related to holistic education. Just give you the reference, foundational literacy is understanding the basics of that particular subject or curriculum which you are interested in, which one is interested in. So when you have the foundational literacy of that particular subject area or domain, then when you take up the higher education and research in that particular domain, you will be able to understand the subject in a better way. And why this is stressed is, usually we find that the subjects which are numerical in nature, mostly teachers, our colleagues, when they teach this, they also do not go into the deep aspect of that foundational literacy where numerical subjects are taught. Because of that, it is difficult for the students to go for the higher education with that foundational which is a little bit shaky and which is only related to passing of the class or the completion of the curriculum. That is why you will find that numeracy is stressed, and this is stressed with two things. One is flexibility. There should be a flexibility of learning and also teaching, and the stress is on holistic education. Why this angle is given? Of course, when you do the domain study, you are sticking to certain subjects only. But with domain study, you can also try to study those subjects which you are interested in. A student of architecture may be interested in history. Why the student of architecture is interested in history? Because the architectural nuances in different ages, different kingdoms, different countries, different situations, that can be very much helpful for that architecture student to understand, so that he can excel and give something unique to the customers when they give him a task, when they give him a project, and when they require some special suggestion as regards building of the project, building of the house, building of XYZ. So that is why the holistic and flexible education is stressed upon in this. The reason is that creative thinking, creativity is stressed in this. The ability to generate new ideas and innovative ideas. Here, I would like to give you a very good example. Although Sabir Bhatia, who discovered the hot mill, and he was in US, and when he discovered hot mill, there was a block. He expressed it in his what you call writings, and also in the interviews. He had a mental block. He did not take it further himself. He was not able to do it because of the means and a mental block which he had. The reason was that he was not able to do it himself, and that is why when Hotmail was discovered, Microsoft gave an offer to Sabir Bhatia and purchased the Hotmail, and they have earned lakhs, crores, millions from that particular invention, which was a innovative idea at that time when it came, which was discovered by Sabir Bhatia, and eventually it was sold to the Microsoft. Now, this type of creative thinking, we see many articles are there in the newspapers, any language newspaper or any national newspapers. A student has a tire, or a cycle repairer's son has prepared a launcher which the indigenous what you call material which was there in the shop, cycle repair shop, and he has done it, and the invention was caught by the eye of the former president of India, the scientist president of India, APJ Abdul Kalam, and he directed his staff to see that the student of that cycle repairer should approach IISC, or IISC should find out what ideas the student is having. If so, pick him up, take it to Bangalore, and groom him for the further things. If he has some ideas, give him proper treatment. And this is what is fostering, because it is when I said at the start of the document, when I told you that NEP 2020 is a unique initiative, and unique capabilities are present in each and every student, and that unique capabilities should be identified. And now, when I say creative thinking, the ability to generate new and innovative ideas, if this is present, you have to shift from a traditional to flexible, open-minded thinking. And traditional thinking, I'm a professor from commerce, and my specialization is international business and entrepreneurship. I know that we are uh, going for the innovation in the products which are already existing. So that innovation does not create an impact on the customers. The innovation which is done for the first time, that attracts the attention, and that is the genuine innovation which is required from the students, which will be coming in the fold in the next 10 to 12 years. And these students who are now being fostered under the NEP 2020 initiatives, which are also the guidelines for the schools, how they should proceed in their curriculum. If this is followed, I think they will be giving proper results. After 10 to 12 years, we will get the specialist scientist and other specialists in each and every field which we are thinking, because that will give impetus to the traditional, from traditional to flexible mode or way to come to the conclusion, that is through creative thinking. Sometimes you have to have a design thinking. And what is this design thinking? You can come up with ideas, you can come up with solution to complex problems. How can you go for solving these complex problems? Design thinking does it. How? Empathizing the need and perspective of the people. And if you do this, you can very well, or you can say, if you adopt this, the approach of this will automatically give you results. How? If you design, if you define, and if you go for ideating, generate the idea, prepare a prototype, and then test it. If you go through this process, then the design thinking will bring results which are expected. Every time when we compare India or Indian students with the foreign students, we tend to give them upper hand to the foreign students and say they are like this, they are like that. It's okay, no problem. Their system is already being adopted, and they are nurturing the students from the perspective which is imbibed in new education policy. If this is followed, we will be able to generate the think tank which is expected in the next 10 to 12 years, when the students from the lower classes, they come to the high school and go for undergraduation and adopt a specialized subject. So design thinking, which is starting from the prototyping and testing that thing, it has also started from the school education. I am from Maharashtra, and in Maharashtra you will find the curriculum of NEP 2020, as per the requirement of the structure, has been instituted in the schools also. And the curriculum has been designed and redesigned so that the students will have foundational literacy and they will move forward, and which will generate creative thinking, and which will also generate design thinking in the coming years. Likewise, if you see, this document also stresses upon computational thinking. And this computational thinking is nothing but a set of skills and processes, which will involve, where you can do the problem solving and creating solutions which is not working. And this bottleneck will be removed by a think tank which will be expert in computational thinking. Friends, you can see that computational thinking involves decomposition, or you can say in very simple language, breaking into small parts the things and then finding a solution to that, so that the concentrated solution is arrived upon. That can be done in the computational thinking. One more thing is, I can give you a good example of that. The pattern recognition. These days, it is an era where artificial intelligence and digitalization, then artificial intelligence, and now the data analytics is growing very fast. In that, you will find the pattern recognition system has come, algorithm design has come. And when these things are there, you can go for an abstraction and you can also go for a generalization as well as specialization. How? I can give you a good example. I'll give you two examples apart. The first one, I can say that we can find Nithila is there and Faizan is there, who are attached to this. They are witnessing this online. This Margaret, can you spell your name, Nithila? You can open. I think she's not. Faizan Ahmad, I can see. Dr. Pathare Ramesh is also there. Okay, when I say that you are approaching a mall, and as soon as you enter the mall, you will find that the recognition has been done and the computer will show Nithila is there, Faizan is there, and Dr. Pathare Ramesh is there. They are entering the mall. And immediately on the screen, their past what you call purchases will come. And it was found that Nithila is interested in the ready-made dresses, and she also purchased some of the groceries from the mall. Immediately the offers relating to this will come to them. To Nithila, Faizan Ahmad was interested in, he's fond of what you call shoes and different types of cloth. So those two things which he is interested, he will start getting the what you call offers on that. You can also see that when Dr. Pathare enters the mall, then he will get what you call the last three purchases will be there, and offers relating to that purchases will be on the screen of or on the mobile of Dr. Pathare, giving him the offers for purchasing shirts, purchasing watches, and purchasing female dresses, which he has done for his wife, his daughter, and relatives. That will come on the screen, and he will be attracted to those offers. Now, this is a simple example of pattern recognition where a client is recognized, a customer is recognized, and his likings is recognized. Application is to attract and make the customer purchase more and more by giving the offers. You can see if it is applied in the medical field. These days, you see it is a breakthrough in when we talk about pattern recognition. Like if a cancer patient is scanned and the evidence of the cancer cells which are present in the body will be evident on those and on that screen, and you will find that the customization of the cancer treatment can be done for that particular customer or particular patient who has undergone the pattern recognition, who has undergone the screening, and because he has been screened, the artificial intelligence and the algorithm will design what type of treatment this particular patient can be given, and it will be suggestive, And if the doctors who are themselves specialized, they will look at the things and they will make the customized recommendation to the patient and do the treatment. Now, this is what is, you can say, the advent, and this is what is expected from NEP 2020, so that when the student learns those things in a very specialized manner, the student will be a specialist when he comes out. This is what is the impact of computational thinking along with design thinking, and I think the creative thinking. Friends, this is not the end. That it is taking forward the system thinking. How the system thinking? Understanding and analyzing the complex systems. This is something which is earlier I told you that finding a solution to the complex problem. If this is done, it has to be done by a specialist. It is not the work of a generalist. Generalist means a generally educated person will not be able to find a solution to that. And that is why you will find that when you understand the complex system, you understand the relationship between the two aspects, two factors, two groups, two themes. You can very well correlate them. And here, recognize when you adopt this system and to analyze the complex system, you will find that holism, which is a part of recognizing system and which is interdependent on each other, you can very well give a focused treatment and find a solution to that. And this is supported by the feedback loop, where the output becomes the input for another process. Now, this is the beauty of the research and design and computational thinking, where when it is integrated with the system thinking, you will be able to find a solution to that. And that is why the offers are being given to the people who are entering or who are visiting those centers from where business is done. Friends, along with the creativeness, design thinking, computational thinking, system thinking, one thing is associated with that, and it is very true. What? That is the scientific thinking. It is the scientific method to ask a question. And as we say that law of gravitation came, why did the apple fell down? Why it did not went up? And this scientific thinking led to the invention of law of gravitation. Friends, in scientific thinking, you gather information, you form a hypothesis, you draw conclusion on the basis of the information or the data, and you find it drawing conclusion on the basis of evidence. It is used in many fields: engineering, medical, social sciences, humanities. Like I always say, like economics is the study of men, people. And it is the study from four angles: how they live, how they move, how they behave, and how they think. If these four things are probed, if these four things are continuously undertaken, you will find new solutions every time. That is why search is done again and again. That is why research comes into the picture. And the business organizations, when they do the research again and again, they will be able to find a optimum solution for giving the customer the best of the products and best of the services. And that is why you will find that the technology is coming to their help in all the fields like engineering, medical sciences, sociology and commerce and management. Everywhere you will find it. Friends, one more thing which is very much a guidepost of the whole what you call NEP 2020 document is the holistic development. Why this emphasis of holistic development has been instituted or inscribed in the document? The reason for is that the development should not be in one area only. The objective is to produce the specialist, but then together with that, holistic development, overall well-being and growth of an individual is instituted in that. And that is why if you look at the document, you will find that emphasis is then on holistic development. That is why major, minor, verticals are there, vocational are there, so that these can be a aspects which can be connected for the holistic development of that particular student who is undertaking education. Physical, mental, emotional, social, intellectual, all these parameters are taken care so that the holistic development of the student is very much done. And this is emphasized in the policy document of NEP, that is National Education Policy of 2020. Together with the holistic development, one more thing it is stressed upon in this what you call the new education policy of 2020, and that angle is very much widely discussed. And why it is discussed? The reason is that vocational education is emphasized. It is not done randomly. It is done with a objective. Why vocational education is focused in this document and why they want the focused education should be there, so that the human resources which we are nurturing right from the schools, kindergarten to the middle school, high school, and the junior college, that is 11th and 12th, which will be merged consequently in the coming years with the school. School education will be up to 12th standard. Why this is emphasized upon is that to prepare the human resources for the future in two ways. That is for specific careers and also for specific trades. There can be, as I told you at the start, only in the first 2 to 3 minutes, I told you that every child has a unique capacity, and you need to recognize, identify, and foster. And that is what is percolating to the vocational education also. When these students who does not have research mindedness, who do not have a traditional skill, who do not are interested in subjects of humanities, languages, trade, commerce, they will be getting vocational skill, or they will be acquiring vocational skill, or they will be guided in a proper way by the counselor to adopt the vocational skill, so that they can be competent when they are able to do something on their own, or they want their that they should be employed somewhere, they should get gainful employment. In this context, they should be prepared for different courses and different trades, and they will be differently abled with the skill, not the differently abled personalities, but differently abled with the skills, and they will be able to make their mark in the market. Friends, this is the reason in the policy document of the NEP 2020, where it is adopted, a structure has been prepared where you will find there is the major, minor, and the theoretical access is there. It also constitutes practical aspects. I will focus only on three aspects: the activity, doing something practical in that particular subject. And each subject is demanding practicality. That is why one activity has to be done. Like if your student is studying commerce, or he is in BCom graduation, and he's studying accounts, he can very well go and find out how the accounts are maintained in the cooperative society, how the accounts are being maintained in the shopping mall, how the accounts are being maintained in the departmental store, how the accounts of the retail trader is maintained, how the accounts of the agency is maintained, blah, blah, blah. So many areas in one subject only. And for the other subjects, the vocational, what you call education through activity can be done. Then in that also, you will find there are two types of projects. One is field project and one is research project. And when we talk in a scientific manner, when the student goes into the field, you will find that he is following the process, gathering information from the field, putting it in a logical manner, analyzing the data in the logical manner, and interpreting the data in the logical manner. That can be done in the field project. One or two objectives which he has focused, he has drawn, he has made for that particular field project. That questionnaire related to that and information related to that is analyzed, and finding is depicted. If this is done, then you can say that the practical aspect has been covered from activity to field project. The next is the research project, which is also there in the structure, and it is having, in some of the structures of the states, they have 4 credits. In some of the structure of the states, they have 6 credits. So that a methodology is followed in the research project, wherein you have a topic, domain, or an area which you will select. Then you will find in the pilot survey that the background of that particular topic which you have selected for the study. Then related review of literature will be done. Then you will prepare the research design, how you will move in this particular aspect. Before that, one very important thing which you have to undertake after topic, introduction, and review of literature, you can come to finalizing the objectives of the research. Then you will go for hypothesis forming, which you have in mind, or it may be one hypothesis, or it may be several hypotheses. It can be one hypothesis with sub hypothesis. You can do it according to the things which you have in your mind for undertaking research. Then the methodology of collecting the data with the help of samples which you have selected. Then you will analyze the data and you will eventually put up the results. This is what is conceptualized in the research project, wherein a student will be able to do one or several projects which he has to undertake. You will find that we always have a confused impression about the project. Why I say this? We have the confused impression about the project. The reason is that we think that project is something big only. It's not like that. If there is an event, that there will be a event of the patients, cancer patients who have been treated. There is an event of, you can say, the meet of alumni. These are the events which require a lot of planning. A sports event which requires a lot of planning. So whether it is anything from this is an event, and for that event you need to prepare a small project. How you will select the theme, how you will introduce the guest, how you will see the proceedings are done, they are engaged when they are with you, how will be the convenient spot selected. All these things, all these nuances are there when you do the project report for that particular task which you have selected, or you have been assigned, or you have been given to prepare professionally. You can do this because you are able to understand the things right from the schools. You have undertaken the activity, you have undertaken what you call the field project, you have undertaken the research project. Friends, a very important component which is there in the NEP document of 2020 is on-the-job training. This is inviting discussion at all levels in across the faculties. Why? Many students and many teachers are short of ideas where on-the-job training can be given. If it is for 2 credits, means 30 hours. If it is for 4 credits, it is for 60 hours. The reason is that 1 credit is equal to 15 hours and 4 credit is equal to 60 hours. So how can a student be given on the job training for 60 hours? How can a student is given training on the job training for 30 hours if it is a 2 credits? There is a confusion state of mind that training, job and training can be given only in the industry. It's not like that. You can innovate. How you can innovate? Because the participant in this NEP sensitization, which is starting today with the inauguration today, in the inaugural session, we are meeting in the inaugural session. You will find a confluence of the teachers who are from different faculties who are here. So I can give you one small example. If industry is not present in a certain city and students are not gone to, they don't have the facility to go to the industry and do the on-the-job training. I can give you an example of commerce, that if the students are not able to go to the industry, they can go to different centers where they can do on-the-job training. Those interested in accounts, they can go to the firms. Which firms? See, chartered accountant firms. They can go to the clearing house agents where they can learn the practicality. They can do the on-the-job training there. And see, every day 10 to 5 means how many hours? 7 hours. If they go for 5 days, 7 5s are 35. And this 7 5s are 35 means your 2 credits are finished. They can learn many things in 5 days. They can do this for 2 credits. And if it is 4 credits, the same student can go for 10 days. And he can work for take the on-the-job training in that particular organization for you can see 10 days, where he will be able to complete 70 hours, leaving out the lunch and other breaks. He can very well do that, and you can have the first-hand information. What I say is, the student who has specialization of marketing, he can go to any firm where you will find the marketing activities takes place. It can be a wholesale dealer, it can be a retail dealer, it can be an organization which is engaged in advertising, which is engaged in sales, and so on and so forth. Any agency they can go. It can be a specialized task for that particular student. A student from chemistry can go to a chemical lab which are private labs also, where he can go and have a first-hand information, first-hand feeling of the on-the-job training. And again, I can say that 2 credits and 4 credits will define the number of days, and very well the student can be away from the campus and have the on-the-job training. Very well he can do in the semester, and he can have those first-hand information. That is why it has been put here, and it is already being implemented in several countries of the world. I have seen it practically myself, and that is why you will find, don't take it as a Herculean task. You can approach it, you can do it. I will give you a very good example, because Aurangabad is a tier 2 city, and it has 3 full-fledged industrial areas, and the 4th one is now coming up, along with the 5-star industrial area. And we have so many multinational companies, large scale, medium scale, and small scale companies. I happened to meet a president of Marathwada. This is the name of the region for those who are not from this city. Aurangabad is situated in Marathwada region of Maharashtra, and the organization which is catering to the industry, small scale industries, Marathwada Small Scale Industries Organization, MASIA. Marathwada Small Scale, MSSIA. Marathwada Small Scale Industries Association. I just had an informal talk. I said, sir, your help will be required for the students to undertake internship. They will be from university, and also, since I am a dean, I am responsible for 459 colleges which are attached to my university, and majority of them have the commerce and management courses in them. So the students may be very well required your patronage to undertake the on-the-job training. He said, sir, this is a very good move, and you share my details to them. I will interact with them. Even if they want, I can do MOU with them, and I will see that I have 1500 units registered with my organization. And what is the configuration? Small scale units are there. It may be 500 to 700, and the medium scale and large scale may be 100, and again 700 will be medium scale, where I can accommodate as many students as from this district. I can accommodate, and very conveniently I can give them a support for undertaking on the job training. This can be a modus operandi. I told you, we have given them option, not only go to the industry, go to the mall, study there, inventory management. Go to the multi-speciality hospital, go see the administration, how it is instituted, constituted. Go to the bank, how it is working. Go to the cooperative credit society, how it is working. There are many things which can be a part of your on-the-job training. You need to understand from that angle where my students can go and impart, or they can take on-the-job training. That needs to be thought, brainstormed. Then ideas will come to you, and you can do it very conveniently. Friends, the last thing before I leave for a short break, we'll have a cup of tea. You also have. And I could see many of the faces, they need a cup of tea, so that the next only 1 hour will be there. I will not be engaging because I have some other engagements. So in the next, after the break, before I go to the break, activity-based learning is one thing which I wanted to tell you before the break, where active participants of the students is expected. So activity-based learning is in activity, is in the field project, is in on-the-job training, is in research project, where students will be involved at all levels, different levels. Projects for the schools will be different. Project for the junior colleges will be different. Undergraduate projects will be different. And the senior college teachers and institutions projects will be different. Activities will be different. So you need to have that angle of thinking where my student can get the best and how those students can benefit from this task which has been in the structure of your what you call the program. Thank you very much. We will be back not in 15 minutes, we'll be back in 10 minutes only. Can anybody tell me? I think it is 10:05, 4 past 5. No, 5, yeah, 4 past 5. 4:05 हो रहे हैं, correct?
जी सर, हाँ सर.
हाँ, तो we'll be back at 4:15, okay?
Yes sir, okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Can I start now? I think we have 99 participants out of 116.
Abhi join.
Yeah, they are joining. But 99 is a good one. 100 now. Okay, friends, I was talking about the point activity-based learning, wherein the hands-on activities, real life experience, in order to develop the new skills in the student or the stakeholder, this has been included in the NEP 2020 document. This will commensurate means align with the objectives of the particular activity or task which has been undertaken and which will be considered as a designed activity, and which will also be helpful in preparing the resources. And these resources, when I say it will be helpful in preparing the resources, you will find that it will reflect that the student has acquired a new knowledge and has empowered himself or herself with a new skill. One more aspect which is different for what we have discussed and what we have seen in the last hour. What was that? We emphasized on the aspects of vocational education with creative thinking, design thinking, critical thinking, computational thinking, system thinking, scientific thinking, and now we are into the activity-based learning. Friends, this is also aligning with the integration of subjects. How can this integration of the subjects into the what you call a single lesson or a single course you can do? You can incorporate multiple subjects into larger projects or unit of study. I can give you one very good example. Recently, we were interacting with the think tank of NEP 2020 implementation, Sukanu Samiti from Maharashtra. And they are stalwarts, vice chancellors and bureaucrats, former, you can say, principals, which is constituted a think tank, where they were explaining, they were answering the questions to the queries of the institutions and many people who were called for that particular brainstorming, for which I was also there. So when they were talking about including the Indian knowledge system in the subject specific Indian knowledge system, and it's very simple how I have guided to our BOS that now we will include the subject specific Indian knowledge system in a very systematic way, without disturbing, without surrendering the core subject, without disturbing the core subject, without disturbing the current, you can say, curriculum, or replacing the curriculum, replacing that particular subject with the whole of Indian knowledge system. And we can do more in that. I told them how we have done the brainstorming is that instead of the 6th vertical, we can go for further multiples where verticals you can include the subject specific Indian knowledge system. Why don't you go for the basic inclusion of the unit 1 as a Indian knowledge system unit related to that particular subject? Like if the student is studying the accounting, so accounting from different ages till the recent trend in accounting, you can take in that, as well as the evolution of, you can say, different theories, how it has been done over a period of time, that can be included in a very, very effective manner by including in that particular subject, which can give a conceptual understanding of that Indian knowledge system, which can be studied by that particular student. Friends, in the context of NEP 2020, I would like to mention here is the objective of cognitive development is there for the teachers and the students. But when we are going for such type of scientific thinking, computational thinking, and we are integrating the subjects, activity-based learning, on-the-job training, these are types of activity-based learning. When we want to do that, we are increasing the competency of the student. And that is why I can say that this is also a competency-based education, which is being imparted to the student through this NEP 2020. How this can be said as competency-based education, which will help to develop the specific skills and knowledge of that particular student. And this specific knowledge and skill, which will be instituted competently, that should be demonstrated by the student after learning that particular skill. After acquiring the knowledge, the student should be able to demonstrate or undertake that work which he or she has acquired from the skill-based education, that is competency-based education. कितनी बड़ी जिम्मेदारी है देखो. It's not that easy when you are imparting a specific skill to a student, whether the student have understood that information, theoretical access in the form of a knowledge, information, and the student have been able to demonstrate it competently. इसीलिए मैं हमेशा एग्जांपल देता हूं, every time I give an example that it's not easy to adopt a profession which looks like it has a lot of money and it is giving results, it is giving dividends. I give them an example of if you want to become a dress designer, you have to learn all the skills of tailoring. And right from the cutting to fitting and stitching and everything, all those homework you have to do for that particular garment, unless you know yourself, you will not be able to do that work competently in the market. And why you do that work competently in the market? Because to get the result. And if the student is taught something, that student should be able to do that. Like MCA, Master of Computer Application student, BCA, Bachelor of Computer Application students, they should be able to make or work on SAP. They should be able to make the programs for which that degree, where they are taught that particular knowledge of that particular domain, they should be able to demonstrate. That is what will fulfill the competency-based education objective of this document. So demonstrating practically the skills which a particular student have acquired. Friends, the days of library education has transformed. We used to go and find the books, relevant books, and related material from periodicals, magazines, journals. Of course, the books were there. But now there is a confluence and integration of both the things, the physical books and the digital literacy, digital library. Because it is not possible for an individual to perform a task of undertaking learning every time through books can adopt the digital literacy method, digital technology. So using the digital tools and resources to communicate and collaborate is the expectation of that particular or this particular NEP 2020 document. And if you see the larger canvas, if you see the larger happenings, you will find that participating in the digital economy in a competitive manner will reap dividends. You will get the results for that. And you have seen what COVID has taught us. एक बहुत छोटे छोटे innovations हुए. And these innovations which have been done, it is not only due to some factor, but these innovations have been undertaken due to some specific, or you can say that the need which was there. In Marathi we say गरज ही शोधाची जननी आहे. If there is a need, there is innovation. And that is why you will find several things have come in the digital literacy and communication. I can give you just one example. The first innovation which took place in Maharashtra in the COVID scenario of lockdown, you'll find a unique thing which was designed by the wineries or the wine sellers of Maharashtra. What they did, they prepared an app, the dealers and retailers. They prepared an app, they displayed the products, and they displayed their prices. And since the app was not very much sophisticated, it was displaying the phone numbers and email addresses where you can put your order, and that will be delivered to you. So during that time, the availability of the brands was also marked in that particular app. And you see, from that one innovation, even the vegetable vendors, the mechanics, the laundry wala, so many people have come up with the apps that they can provide you, even the mechanics, they can provide you service for these type of vehicles. Just call us in this number and we'll see that you get the service at the appropriate time and with precision. All these things, these are the need with the help of which were fulfilled with the help of the digital technology. And today you see e-commerce is on the rise, where you are directly and indirectly participating in the digital economy, right from the banks to the e-commerce platforms. You can get at a click anything you like. And this is increasing day by day with the customization and the need of the customers. It is increasing day by day, and it is the future also, because the requirement of working is increasing day by day. And since the incorporation of remote working, you will find that people are working from remote areas, and they will not be in a position to get the things from where they want, so they can adopt the e-commerce platform, and they can very well do that. So this participating in the digital economy as a member will always give a advantage, and that is why digital literacy is emphasized in this policy document. Friends, a very interesting aspect has come. You must be thinking that sir is always talking about the commerce management, and is talking about some of the things in the science faculty. But what about the humanities? It is there in store for them also. The multilingualism, and this multilingualism, which is you can learn more than one language in your day-to-day life. This is one aspect which has been brought in the policy document of NEP 2020. And what is stressed upon is that it will be an advantage if a student learns in the mother tongue the different subjects, life skills with diversity. And if this is done, then the student will be equipped for more things which has been prepared according to the document of NEP 2020. Now, how you can constitute the multilingualism, how the life skills can be instituted? You have to bring a diversity in certain areas. How the diversity can come? Diversity can come in pedagogy. And this pedagogy diversification will give a new angle for, you can say, the creative thinking, scientific thinking. Because if a teacher talks about a particular subject and integrates the other interdisciplinary subjects in that particular subject, give the references to the context in that particular subject, the vision of the students will also be enhanced. They will think in a broad manner. I'm using the word canvas again and again. That will increase the canvas of the student. एक एरिया में नहीं सोचेंगे, वो मल्टीडिसिप्लिनरी एरियाज में सोचेंगे. I'll give you one example. We have one commerce teacher in my department. Now he is inclined towards Adhyatmic, and frequently he recites shloks to me and says, sir, if you talk on these things, you tell this shlok, and this is the meaning of that, and this and that. So what is this? This is nothing but diversity in pedagogy, a new angle, so that he can enhance his learning and his what you call dissemination of information, disseminate the information which he has in a different manner with a different angle. You can give a touch, and the students will start thinking about that. So that is the pedagogical approach which is expected in the document of NEP 2020, multilingualism and life skills. This will only not be possible alone. The teachers should learn, teachers should do this, do that. We say A, B, C, D should be done. It will not be sufficient for that. For that, you require You already have a policy. Now you require a different type of curriculum. Remember, I always say, and I'm educating as many teachers as possible, when you have 10% autonomy given by UGC, why don't you bring every year any new concept which has come, include it in the teaching by default? No need, it should be written in the curriculum. Syllabus में लिखा हुआ है तो हम उसको पढ़ाएंगे, नहीं तो नहीं पढ़ाएंगे. And क्यों? When it has come, it is being practiced. Why not include it in the teaching, effective teaching? This will increase the computational scientific design thinking of the students, and they will be able to grasp it, and they will be able to translate it into a skill. This is one very important aspect. Now, how can you also give a new angle to the curriculum? See, if you bring the synergy, integration in curriculum across the levels, across childhood education, school education, high school education, junior college education, undergraduates, and you can say postgraduates, you will be, if you do not integrate it, ये flow आना चाहिए. जैसा 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, it's a flow. And this flow should be maintained, this synergy should be maintained in the curriculum also. और हम क्या करते हैं कि उसको मेजर माइनर को ब्रेक कर देते हैं. वो ब्रेक नहीं करना है. अगर आप ब्रेक करोगे तो डोमेन स्पेसिफिक इंफॉर्मेशन नहीं मिलेगी. You will not be able to give them the domain specific information. And that is why a synergy in the curriculum is expected. And I hope after going from here, you will be doing the soul searching. You will be doing a thinking from a broader perspective, so that you understand that we have to give more than to a student, so that the integration of the knowledge which he has taken from the school to the high school and junior college, that should be integrated with the undergraduate education and postgraduate education. That is why you will find there is expectation from the government. Now, things are coming where we have to encounter new problems every day, structural problems, defining of major, minor, and integrating with the Indian knowledge system. How to place them? We cannot reduce the number of credits in the what you call core subject. So how to integrate the Indian knowledge system? How to keep the vertical open so that the student gets the skill in VSC, vocational, you can say 2 credits of vocational. Now, the vertical that is assigned, which is very much interesting. And if this is effectively done, then I think the teacher will enjoy. Most of the time, when I interact with the teachers, they tend to complain. And when will this stop? Complain is not a solution. You will complain and you will keep quiet. Nobody will hear you. When once it is decided this has to be instituted, what is constituted, then you have to do it. And do it with grace, do it with your full concentration. You will enjoy the work. That is why synergy across the levels, that has to be done with the integration, with the tight regulatory framework from the side of the implementation authorities, right from universities to higher education ministry and other stakeholders who are in the regulatory loop, regulatory framework loop. They need to tighten the things, and then only you will find that the integrated transparency will be there, will be seen, will be evident. ये दिखेगा इंटीग्रेटेड ट्रांसपेरेंसी, और ये दिखने के बाद ही अपने को रिजल्ट्स मिलेंगे, वरना नहीं मिलेंगे. इट्स वेरी हरक्यूलियन टास्क. रिव्यू मैकेनिज्म in this NEP 2020 is one of the best thing which has been instituted. See, if you look at the social entrepreneurs, social entrepreneurship is one area where a entrepreneur, he spots the things which are not working. जो वर्क नहीं कर रहा उसको वो क्या करता है, फोकस करता है, और जो वर्क नहीं कर रहा उसको फोकस करके वो उसको, वो प्रॉब्लम को, वो हिच को, वो ऑब्स्टेकल को, अड़थड़े को, है ना, जो रुकावट है उसको सॉल्व करने की कोशिश करता है. दिस इज व्हाट इज द रिव्यू मैकेनिज्म, वेयर ऑब्स्टेकल्स एंड अदर थिंग्स should be solved in consultation, and you cannot solve it alone. You have to go for the consultation. That is why you will find that rootedness in this what you call implementation is the crux. The level of pride in India, it should also be instituted. The reason is we have the diverse, ancient, modern culture, knowledge system which is present. Of course, what is expected from the teacher is you should stick to the facts. Don't get carried away with any theme, because if you stop talking, if you stop asking questions, then the things will go out of the hand, which I think will be very dangerous for the future of India. That is why multidisciplinary university and colleges which are based more on Indian languages, local Indian languages, they are being stressed upon. These multidisciplinary university and college education is the future. I came across an article where I could see that in the old literature, languages, there were some scriptures, and those scriptures had the scientific, cultural aspects inscribed in that. That should be brought to the light, and that should be adopted. Of course, rationality is there. Irrational things, there is no space for irrational things. Teachers should be very careful about that. Rationality. I can give an example. In Telangana and Karnataka, Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, when they were integrated as an Andhra Pradesh, there is one college where medical education was imparted in Urdu in the ancient age. I could not get the reference of the time period, but I heard from the intellectuals that type of education should come in the local language. And the initiatives have been taken by my government, state government, Maharashtra state government, and now they are promoting the engineering, medical and other books to be translated in the local language, so that the students will be able to learn it, adopt it, and understand in the same perspective in which the spirit of the book is written. That is why multidisciplinary universities and colleges, they are being promoted. They are being motivated to adopt those things. Friends, governance of higher education in institutions by independent boards is one of the highlight of the NEP 2020 document, which always points towards having having, you can say, administrative and academic autonomy, so that when you go with the crowd, you have certain limitations. You should not go with the crowd, and you can impart, you can give them the best of the best. I can give you an example. Just a few days back, there was a round table discussion which was initiated by one of the leading newspaper of my area. And I happened to listen to one director from Hotel Management and Hospitality Institute. He was basically brought up in Mumbai, and he said one thing: why people want their wards to be admitted to the Xavier College only? Have you ever thought about that? Why the parents are insisting on giving admission to their what you call wards in this particular school only? Why? There's a reason for that, and that has been understood by the government, and it has been reflected in the document. And that is why you will find that the academic and administrative autonomy has been proposed. Of course, the levels are there, and there are many things which can be debated in future, and a solution, customized solution needs to be found out. It's not that much easy, but then when you are getting a flexibility of administrative and academic autonomy, you are in a position to give the students something different, both for the pedagogy and for the students. It is a win-win situation. I would put it in this way: students, you can say teachers and institutions all have a win-win situation if there is a focused academic and administrative autonomy which is implemented. And for that purpose, 20-40 higher educational institutions with multidisciplinary institutions with 3,000 and more students will be initiated, constituted, will be brought. And for that, a earlier target of 2030, one large multidisciplinary institute in every district, one large multidisciplinary institute in every district points to a big college or a consortium of colleges with 3,000 to 5,000 students in it, and they can be an independent institute and they can be an independent university coming together. It can be like that also. And this is what is giving you a chance for academic and administrative autonomy, where you can give the student something different, something more, something focused, which is expected. Friends, multidisciplinary education and research institution or institutes, Meru, that has already seen the light. And because of that, in the coming lectures, this is the opening over, and why I will not go into the specific details of the nuances of the NEP 2020 things, but then as expected, I should touch each and every area. That is why not only higher education institutions, multidisciplinary institutions with autonomy, academic and administrative autonomy, with Meru, that is multidisciplinary education and research institutes, and internationalization, entry to top world ranking universities has been initiated by the government. And you can see now many foreign university campuses are coming in India. many of our friends, they are taking a literal view that now the poor will not be able to take education. This will happen, that will happen. See, apprehensions are there. It is certain. To every advantage, there is a disadvantage. कुछ अगर पाना है तो कुछ खोना पड़ेगा, कुछ एडवांटेज है तो उसका डिसएडवांटेज भी है, इसमें कोई शक नहीं है. Education for masses has, as long as it is there is no threat to the education system, and it can coexist. It can coexist with the government institutions. It can coexist with the private schools, private and government schools, private and government colleges, private and public universities. They can exist. Even foreign universities, they can exist. But then what will be the terms and conditions of existence? That has to be understood by the pedagogy, that is the teachers. So here students are not there. That is why I'm stressing on pedagogy. The teachers, they are the carriers who can take this mission forward in a very focused way. Friends, the last thing which I would like to stress upon is the academic bank of credit. This is again an area where a lot of debate has been undertaken. But then it is good when we go for internationalization of education, when we talk about multiple entry, multiple exit, this is expected, this is required. Because multiple entry, multiple exit, we cannot just talk about the changes in the curriculum, but the implementation of the multiple exit, multiple entry, lateral entry in the courses. This is the requirement. Why? When this is the requirement, academic bank of credit is also a requirement. Digital storing of the academic credit will be there. ये like अपने बैंक के जैसे रहेगा. It will be like a bank, and it will be bank of a higher education institution, where the credits of the student will be stored, and the degree will be awarded accordingly. Admissions in India and abroad, weightage for courses in India and abroad, weightage for courses in India itself, all will be defined, and the multiple exit and entry will be possible for the students as they move towards implementation, effective implementation of you can say NEP 2020. They will be able to gain credits not from India but also from foreign institutions. Friends, customizing the future degree credits will be an advantage, and for counting the credits which you means our student has availed, it will be a shot in arm for the implementation of NEP 2020. So friend, I, being the Dean Faculty of Commerce and Management and a teacher of commerce and management education, know one thing: change is resisted. Whenever a change comes, it is resisted. कोई भी change को open arms से welcome नहीं करता है. थोड़ा बहुत resistance होता है. It will be there, and it is there, and we have to find a way out. It may be a mental block for you. It may be a situation where you will not be able to move forward. You will find it difficult to implement what is given in the NEP 2020. How the change will come? I can just tell you the 109 students, 114 students who are connected. See how it will be. You need a place to sit in the institution. You cannot sit in the staff room now, because you will be 50% you will be in the class and 50% you will be in your cabin or a place, separate place where you will attend the students. This is a requirement. Don't think that you can stand in the corridor and finalize the topic of the activity, finalize the topic of the project report, finalize the topic of the you can say field project. No, you cannot do that. You have to sit, you have to discuss, you have to think, and then you can finalize it. So you have to bring a lot of change in your attitude towards managing your daily hours. And when you bring that attitude in yourself, that okay, I will go in this manner. Now this is a challenge for me. I'll go in this manner and I'll try to bring the change. And when you change, you will find that you are giving more than 100% to your students. And the task is becoming easy for you. This is what is expected in the new education policy document of 2020. Don't be disheartened, be focused, and you will get the results. Thank you very much. Thank you one and all. And at the onset, I would like to thank the UGC Malviya Mission Teachers Training Center, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Marathwada University, for giving me a chance to interact with the as a opening batsman or the opening bowler of this NEP's 37th NEP sensitization orientation course, which is starting today. And I would, before I take a leave, I would thank the director, Professor Dhanshri Mahajan, and I would also like to thank the Deputy Director, Dr. Mohammad Rafe, for inviting me to deliberate with you, to have an interaction with you. I can take one or two questions if you want. We will, because I have that much time. If the time permits, अगर आप तैयार हैं तो एक दो क्वेश्चन ले सकते, कोई बात नहीं.
Yes, participants, I have now unrestricted for all of you. You can unmute now and ask one or two questions.
एक दो क्वेश्चन ले सकते हैं.
अगर आपके कोई प्रश्न है, सवाल है, आप प्रश्न पूछ सकते हो.
पूछ सकते हैं. Shekhar, you are listening very carefully.
Kothule.
कोठुले. शेखर ने बहुत ध्यान से सुना है.
यस सर.
हाँ.
दोनों सेशन अटेंड.
हाँ, सुना है आपने. मैं वो भी.
यस सर, फैंटास्टिक सेशन सर, बहुत सारा नॉलेज मिला है सर.
नहीं, वो फैंटास्टिक की बात नहीं. अगर क्वेश्चन है तो बोलिए. वी आर हियर.
नो सर. नहीं सर, डाउट बहुत सारे क्लियर हो गए सर.
हाँ.
यस सर.
Okay, Rafi sir, I think they are satisfied. So thank you very much once again for giving me a chance and also giving a patient hearing to my deliberation. Thank you one and all.
Thank you sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.